Hey guys, welcome to the ancient town of Lijiang, this also beautiful but also crowded city in the Yunnan Province of China. In this video, we will show you around this amazing place and show you both a little bit of the traditional side of it and also the modern side of it. We will also take you outside the city to one of the most popular attractions in the area, where you will also see some of the a little bit more negative sides of the massive Chinese tourist machine that you might not see in those amazing TikTok and Instagram videos. And of course at the end we will look at the place we stayed during our visit. So if you look at Lijiang's location in the Yunnan province, it is actually quite easy to get to from one of the major hubs in Southeast Asia, maybe with a transit in one of the bigger cities in southern China like Chongqing or Chengdu. For us though, we flew directly down from Beijing with most of the family. And if you do decide to fly from one of the major hubs in China, do expect to pay a little bit extra, because Lijiang is very popular for Chinese tourists. And if you look at Lijiang's location inside the Yunnan province, it is located quite close to a couple of other very popular tourist destinations. So if you come here, you should definitely also visit at least one or both of Dali and Shangri-La. We also visited Shangri-La, and a video from that coming up very soon. So although Lijiang is much bigger than its best known attraction, all the tourists that come here come to see its ancient city, which is actually quite big in itself. And flying over its rooftops, it's easy to notice how uniform and well preserved the architecture is, with grey tiles and wooden beams stretching out in every direction. And as you get closer to the streets, the charm really comes alive. With its narrow alleys, flowing canals and relaxed atmosphere, it's easy to see why so many people fall in love with this place. If you look at the layout of the ancient city, I guess you can say that the square market is its main center. And from here, these really cozy alleys stretches out like tentacles in all directions. And the closer you get to the square market, especially in the early evening when the weather is good, the more crowded it gets. But don't let the crowd scare you, because this place is absolutely amazing, even with a lot of people. The square market is kind of a gathering point with a lot of shops, restaurants and entertainment venues close by. So also in the evening, but we'll get back to that a little later in the video. So what then is there to do in Lijiang, apart from just walking around and taking in the amazing atmosphere? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is of course shopping, and Lijiang has something for everybody. One thing that you will definitely notice while walking around the city, and especially close to famous attractions like this water wheel, is people dressed up in beautiful traditional local clothing. And you might think that these are just local people showing off their traditional clothing, but not so. This is actually a big business in several cities in the Yunnan province. So many places around the city you can find these shops where you can rent a beautiful costume for the day. And the package often includes a makeup session, and if you want to go all in, even a professional photographer that will follow you around to get those amazing pictures. Another nice thing to do in Lijiang is just to relax at one of the many cool coffee shops in the city. Like this very nice one that we spent an hour in after having walked around for a long time. Here you can of course get all the normal kinds of coffee that you get back home, but also a very slow trekking tea. And while waiting for your tea to finish, why not have a little conversation with the Louis Vuitton wearing pig? Eating in Lijiang is of course an experience in itself, and although there are loads of what you might call normal restaurants, the street food might be a bit more eye-catching. Jelly something? Good. Unfortunately, must admit though that we mostly ate in more normal restaurants, both with some delicious hot pot and a bit more regular Chinese food. Everything delicious though. So, one of our days in Lijiang, we decided to go outside the city to visit one of the most popular tourist attractions in the area, the Blue Moon Valley. This is mainly a set of lagoons with blue water set in a very picturesque valley, about an hour's drive from the ancient city. There are a couple of checkpoints on the road there, so it's always handy to have your passport close by, or at least a picture of it on your phone. Our destination was also a bit higher up in altitude than Lijiang, so we passed 3000 meters on our way there. So now I want to explain a little bit about how visiting these kinds of attractions work in China. Well, first of all, you can never drive all the way up to the attraction itself. There's always a kind of a visiting center a little bit away from the attraction. And this is definitely not just like a small ticket booth, it's more like a big train station or even a small airport. And it can cater for a lot of tourists. Fortunately for us, this place also had a little clothing store, because some in our group was a little bit thinly clothed for the rugged weather we had this day. So then it's off to buy tickets for the buses that will take us to the attraction itself. And to buy tickets, Chinese citizens have to register their ID card, while foreigners have to show their passport in the manual ticket counter. And then it's off to find the right bus to line up for. And the lines can be quite long, because this is a very popular attraction. So then, after a short bus ride, we are almost there. Because now we have to buy tickets for the electric cars that will take us down to the lagoon itself. And fortunately this line went through a little store, so we could pick up some snacks on the way. So, as you understand by now, we were ridiculously unlucky with the weather. But at some point, it got so bad that it was actually kind of funny.
Rainy season in Lijiang.
And I'm definitely glad that I picked up this extra little beanie for $4 at the visitor center. And also that I was wearing some really good outdoor clothing from back home. But despite the weather though, and with a little bit of imagination, you can really see that this is a really beautiful place. So after a very wet but still very interesting visit, it was back in line to get back to our car. On our way back from the Blue Moon Valley, we decided to stop off at another ancient town in the outskirts of Lijiang. Baishazhen Ancient Town is a little bit smaller than its big brother in the south, but it feels a little bit more authentic. And although it still has a lot of tourists, it's well worth to stop by to have a stroll through its narrow and cozy streets. From Baishazhen you can also get a little glimpse of Yulong Snow Mountain, which is actually the most famous tourist attraction in the area. But given that it reaches 4,700 meters of altitude and gets sub-zero temperatures even in the summer, we skipped it this time. So back in Lijiang Ancient Town, let's have a look at how the city looks like at night. The liveliest area at night is around the square market and on both sides of a canal stretching out from it. Here you can just wander around and take in the atmosphere, or you can party all night long.
Now I'm gonna see that big band is back catching up on time. We got big action. Next turn, move your body. If you got that shit, light it up, light it up.
From the square market area, there's also a little alley leading up to a higher point in the city, where you have a nice view of the modern side of Lijiang. Another nice area to visit in Lijiang, just north of the ancient city, is the Black Dragon Pool. And you can get there by a short walk along a canal leading north from the ancient city. Of course, again, the weather was not exactly on our side, but the place is a really beautiful park that you can walk around in and take in the scenic atmosphere. So, let's then have a little look at the place we stayed in during our 3-day visit. The location was inside the ancient city, but still a little bit away from the most busy places of the city, which was great because it was still very beautiful, but a lot less crowded. Since it's not allowed to drive inside the ancient city, the people at the place we stayed came and helped us with the luggage. The place itself was a kind of an Airbnb, with around 8 rooms and a really nice courtyard. The rooms were quite nice, but unfortunately I forgot to film inside. The nicest touch about this place though was probably the amazing terrace at the rooftop. This was just perfect for a few hours of relaxation during those very few hours we had with nice sunshine. Anyway, that's all from Lijiang. Hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget my video from Shangri-La coming up soon.